hanging out on the Enthusiast tour, obviously, as we speak. I'm alongside Elliott, and we're actually going to get to know Elliott a little bit more now.
We're going to be working together these next few days.
That's right. We're going to be hanging out over the next couple of days for the Enthusiast auction, which is obviously happening this Friday and Saturday. You can hop online to worldwideauctioneers.com to get up to speed on some of the memorabilia, some of the collections. You can still register to bid there. But anyway, before we start really talking about you, Elliott, because I mean, that's obviously a big deal and all, but first, let's just talk about the car tour, the Enthusiast tour that we're on right now. I mean, what's been the highlight for you so far?
Yeah, so, well, the Enthusiast tour is an awesome deal. It is put on by Worldwide Auctioneers, and it's a really cool way to get people, enthusiasts, out in their cars. And it's a neat event where we drive the old cars and we actually get to go visit some private collections that are not normally available to the public, eat at some great restaurants, and it's a good way for other people to see the cars as well. So it's kind of an all-purpose thing.
You hit the nail on the head. It's like this one-of-a-kind, unique experience to the Midwest. Because you're right. You can go to museums, you can go to car shows and see a lot of these collections, right? But not these collections on the car tour. They're totally private.
Correct.
So it's been this really kind of wild ride experience that you're just not going to have anywhere else.
It is. It's so neat. We've already been to a couple of them, and I mean, like you said, it's just these kind of collections. You go to a car show, this guy can only bring one.
Right.
And they have these massive collections that you would not really otherwise know about. They're in these kind of unsuspecting locations, and people like this are all over. But apparently there's a lot of them here in Indiana.
There's a lot of them right here. That's right.
Yeah, and it's just a really neat event. And one of the other cool things about it is some of the cars that we're driving on the event and touring are either future auction cars that are going to be going up either this weekend or in September. And I think it's actually a huge testament to the kind of product that Worldwide offers. A lot of times at auctions, the cars are like, you barely get them running across the block, and after that, it's somebody else's problem.
Right.
But what's cool about what Worldwide offers is they offer cars that are driven and can be driven.
Like right now, the one that we're in.
Right now. We are in a 1967 Porsche 912 that I have been
I just love the sound of that.
driving all day. It's this beautiful
I just want to know, why did you get to drive and not me?
Do you know how to drive stick?
Actually, no, that's a good point. But I could learn.
You could. This would be a great car to learn on.
Does a tractor count?
Yeah, it's the same concept.
I can figure it out, certainly. But no, you're right. That's what's great about Worldwide. They know every product. They can tell you how it runs, how it doesn't run, what it needs, what it doesn't need.
Yep.
It's a truly unique, one-of-a-kind experience when you're going with Worldwide Auctioneers.
Exactly. And this very car will be sold in September at Auburn, at their big Auburn auction.
Over Labor Day.
And I mean, I have the utmost confidence in this car after having driven it all morning. And I mean, that says a lot about it. There's a lot of auction companies that you would not drive the car around the block, let alone on a tour.
Can I just say, I am almost 5'8".
Yeah.
I'm like 5'10" in heels, which I'm wearing heels right now.
Yeah.
I got lots of leg room.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
It's a good car. I mean, it's hard
to
believe.
I was a little nervous getting into this car, to be honest. I was like, oh boy.
It is little from the outside, but you get inside and it's like, hey.
So the engine's in the back too,
Engine's in the back. Like I said, it's a flat 4-cylinder. This was actually a budget entry 911 at the time.
Oh, okay.
So they had just come out with the 911 as a whole, and because they changed so much, they had gotten very expensive. So the 912, which is what this is, was kind of an entry-level car. It had 2 less cylinders. It was a lot less expensive, but on the outside, it looked identical to the new 911. And what ended up happening was 2 things. Well, they created the world's first budget Porsche, but 2, it outsold the 911 for a little while, because people were like, well, yeah, you get the 911 looks, but
But for half the cost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, it was a very unique car, and they really only made it for a few years. So it's actually pretty special.
Elliott, you are a YouTube influencer in the car world. Obviously, you know a lot about cars. How did you even get into this world?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, I grew up around it. My dad and uncle and grandpa, everybody was a huge car guy. And then, of course, my mom being in the TV business, I kind of just ended up putting both of those experiences together with a YouTube channel. And, it's
what is your YouTube channel?
It's just called Elliott Alvis. It's just my name, which I'm sure will be
in a nice little lower third that the boys have put in right here.
Yep.
There it is.
But yeah, it's just really cool. I've been around cars in some capacity my whole life. And, I've just been blessed to have a lot of good experiences. and I've learned a lot about cars over the years.
I get that, but here's the deal, Elliot. I grew up around furniture. Okay, I grew up in the furniture industry, the flooring industry. My grandfather started a company. My dad took it over. My brother does it now. You get the idea.
Yeah.
But I'm not passionate about furniture and flooring. I don't love furniture and flooring. So, I mean, yes, you kind of grew up around it, but where does that love and passion come from? What fuels that?
Well, one thing I will say, something like this Porsche tends to stir a little bit more emotion than a recliner.
There is that. It's a little bit nicer than a lazy boy.
No, but I don't know exactly where to put it, but I remember from the earliest age, something about cars excited me to my very core. I remember one of the first things I could do was be able to like point out a Corvette that was different, than every other car you saw on the road. And getting excited about that. And there's just always been this excitement and passion. And of course, as you get older, you get dirt bikes and go-karts, and you like going fast and you like driving. And it just keeps snowballing upon itself as you get older. You get to drive real cars, and then you're like, oh, cool, I want to make that go faster. Or, no, I want to see what one of those is like. Yeah. And you end up just kind of trying and wanting to do everything you possibly can with cars. And like I said, I've just had such a good opportunities that come my way, like this one that we're having right now. Where you're just like, this is amazing, and like I love sharing it with other people. Favorite
car that you've been able to drive thus far in life?
That's really tough. I have had the opportunity to drive a very early Lamborghini Countach. That was actually the Monaco pace car.
Oh, no kidding.
For that year, so that was very, very special. But
where did you have that opportunity?
In Kansas, because believe it or not, much like it might surprise you.
Which is where he's from, by the way.
Yes, I'm from Wichita, Kansas. Believe it or not, like Indiana, Wichita has like a huge car community that no one would expect. And now it's a lot quieter in here.
Well, we have Auburn, Indiana, so I feel like people do expect that, right?
A little bit, yes, for sure.
Well, speaking of Auburn, Indiana, obviously Friday and Saturday is the big Enthusiast auction.
Right.
We've got memorabilia on Friday. We've got some major car collections on Saturday. Just kind of looking ahead to the next 2 days here, Elliot. What would you say are kind of the big moments coming up, or the big highlights coming up?
There's a lot that I'm excited about. I mean, they have a huge selection of memorabilia going up, like you said, on Friday. Mm-hmm. What really gets me stirred up, though, are all of the big cars that are going up on Saturday, and there are quite a few. The very first one that comes to mind is there's a special V16 Cadillac, which in and of itself is very special. But this one is a Roadster, which is very cool. And then the original person who commissioned it was a guy named Atwater Kent. And that guy at the time was one of the richest men in America. Absolutely fascinating individual. He made a fortune in various companies. He had some of the best radios in the world. I grew up with my grandpa having Atwater Kent radios.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so it's really neat to have something from him. He was a real titan of industry, and obviously had really good taste in cars. So I'm excited to see that one go across the block. There's an Auburn Boattail Speedster that is very beautiful, and of course, one of the cars that originated from this area, as well as a Cord convertible, and the same kind of thing. Auburn Cord Duesenberg, all from this neck of the woods. But as every good auction, there's also a bunch of variety. There's actually a 1996 Corvette Collector's Edition convertible.
Something for everybody.
Yeah. And I mean, that's something I'm excited to see what it goes for. They only made like 1,300 of those or something.
Oh, wow.
It's in great shape, and it's just a beautiful car. Even something I believe it as like a 2020 Chevrolet Corvette. Those are hard to get. And, so you have everything from early 20s cars, early teens cars, to a brand new C8 Corvette. There is literally something for everybody at this auction.
It's same for every budget. These are the opportunities when you have these vehicles like being sold at no reserve. There's an opportunity to get a collector car here for what could be a steal, essentially.
That's the exciting way to do it.
Yeah,
for sure. You never know. And I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of interested people for a lot of these very interesting cars, and I'm excited to talk about them with you.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about all the cars, the memorabilia for the next 2 days together, Elliot and I, and I'm really looking forward to it. But if you kind of want to get tuned in for yourself, you just can't stand it, and you need a sneak peek right now, you can hop online, worldwideauctioneers.com. You can see everything we've got memorabilia-wise for Friday, and then the collections going up across the block on Saturday. It's open to the public, so you are invited. Of course, if you can't make it, you can follow us on YouTube, as Ellie and I will be streaming the whole thing. You can still bid online. You can bid over the phone if you're not registered to bid yet. you can also do that online, worldwideauctioneers.com. In the meantime, we can't wait to see you there, and let's keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Can we do it? Like, get it going. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go.